So like that, you have to put short term, like, you have to break it down, because if you look at it like, 2 years of study, like you'll never find something to focus in on,
So that's a good one. I think what she's saying is it is not a 2 year preparation.
Yes, sir. Yes.
It is made up of 20 or 52 year preparations. Think about it in terms of what you're going to do this week or what you're going to do in next 2 weeks, and just focus on that. Don't look too far. Don't start worrying about the fact there is so much competition and all of that. Ni kenduku. What does it
Yes, sir.
matter?
Exactly. Correct. You got it.
So guys, this is what I would recommend. I love talking to Sreenidhi. I've been talking to her for now more than an hour. Uh, the way she has described everything, she was very consistent. Her college would start at 7:30. They would prepare her till 7 p.m. She would study diligently there. After every class, there would be a time for what they call study hours. 50 minutes of classes, 90 minutes of study hours. Fantastic. After coming home, she won't have a lot of energy left. What time you'll sleep at night and what time you'll get up in the morning?
It changes, but I, I got like 7 hours every day.
So understood. So your dad bought pretty much all the books that are
Yes,
available
sir.
on .com, and he also got you access of Target Batch. So overall, what is your feedback on the kind of questions, kind of tests which are available on NEETprep.com and in the books?
Sir, the initially why I like them so much was I already do my PYQs here, and obviously I'll have those tests I do, and my college stuff. The reason I liked it very much was there were no the questions weren't the same. I felt like here I was doing another question, a totally different one. I can put my mind to this again. That
So
was the
it
reason
was,
I liked it.
yeah. So it was not boring. It wasn't as if you were
Yes, sir.
repeating
It
the.
was interesting. Yes, sir.
Interesting. Good afternoon, students. We have Sreenidhi from Visakhapatnam with us. Sreenidhi's score is 630 and her All India rank is 238. Sreenidhi studied at Sri Chaitanya and she also practiced a bunch of questions and tests from our platform. Sreenidhi, first of all, tell me this thing. How are you feeling on the exam day after writing the exam? When you came out, what was the feeling? What has happened?
The first thing on my mind was of course, the number of questions I left. We keep track of that after every exam. I think this was the most I left in a single subject, like physics. So I felt, like, what did I do? I was was I the only person who messed up? Uh, did I not manage my time right? And, you have these kind of thoughts. So yeah.
Yeah, it took you how much time to figure out it was not only you who had it bad, it was a lot of people who did not do well.
So, like, while I was writing the exam, I knew it was hard, but I felt like, in that moment, I felt that maybe people are managing it better than me. That's what I told myself.
Yeah.
If it's hard, there will be people who can do it in that time. So, it's not like just because it's hard, no one will do it. You have to attempt those questions. In the end, it is the paper. So I told myself that, and I told myself, just finish the paper. You have to manage your time. And so I hope then after coming out and getting the key from our college here in Visakhapatnam and all that, then that's when I realized everybody felt it was hard.
So, in your place, when you came back in Sri Chaitanya, they always deliver very big ranks. How many people were scoring more than you in your center in Visakhapatnam?
Um, the thing was, they were also confused with how many questions they marked or like bubbled. They weren't sure. Until the OMRs came, we were all a little scared to tell our marks. Like, to tell someone that we would score this. So that day it was a little, it wasn't that. But my friend, she got 642, and that was it, sir. Then it was me.
Then it was. And none of you, all of you would have been getting comfortably above 700 in every test you were writing otherwise, right?
Yes, sir. I mean, it was like, a benchmark for us to get this weekend we should get this, like a 700, like a 690. Our worst case was something else. And like in each subject, when you look at it, we tell ourselves one question is something different. And one question, if you read the question wrong or you left an option, that's where you lose that question. You try to avoid that kind of mistakes. And there's one question you did not understand. So at most, it's 3 questions you're struggling with. But it was never, almost like I left 10 questions this time. So it was very not
So your score is 630. What was the breakup? How much did you get in physics?
I got 125, sir.
In chemistry?
160.
And in biology?
345, sir. 360.
Never before in 2 years of preparation, right? Never before.
Like biology, it's the same, but I don't think physics never in 2 years.
Okay, good. Now tell me this thing. Would you say that you are a very, very consistent person? You were preparing for 2 years, and I tell this thing to people that the top 100 ranks
Yes, sir.
here in NEET, between 90 to 95 people are first attempters. And in
Yes, sir.
overall NEET, everyone who would get selected, get a government college, 80% people are droppers, right? So the toppers are first attempters, and majority of the people who are getting selected are droppers, and or rather repeaters. And I tell them the reason for that is 2-year people who are preparing sincerely from day one, they get to study for around 700 days. If they study for 10 hours a day or 12 hours a day, you were studying 12 hours a day every day. You are studying for close to 7 to 8,000 hours. A dropper cannot study for more than 3,500 hours, right?
Yes, sir.
So, was there any particular day when you did not study in 2 years?
We have like holidays, not summer, but here Sankranti is a big thing. So, that festival, 1-2 days, but we did go to college. When there was college, I don't think I skipped any day.
You practiced bunch of questions from our platform. Which was the best thing, Karela ka juice, or you didn't like the taste of it?
Sir, as you said it, it's bitter. It felt bitter, sir.
Einstein is drinking bitter good. When your dad is a doctor, he got this for you. Were you annoyed
Yes,
with him?
sir. Yeah, this is the one I solved here, right here. Can you
Okay.
see?
Yeah, I'll just make
This is
it.
current electricity and moving charges. I have it here.
Okay.
This is the
Okay.
one I solved the last.
Okay. How was the feeling? It felt bad. How many questions you were not able to do out of? I think we have 45 questions in everything, right?
And I think it's
41.
divided, into ones, like current electricity was a really big chapter. So it went till 90 also.
So you hated doing it, and you were like, Papa, why are you trying to make me do
That's
this?
exactly what happened. Since my dad got it for me, I would go complain to him. So I would be like, I asked for physics questions. These are too hard, Why would NEET be like this?
And NEET was like this.
Yeah. And I would be like, like each question is taking me so much time. It's like, but I always told him that I didn't see these questions before. So they're new.
Yeah.
So it's not like I'm wasting my time. So that's why we both talked on it, and we were like,
Let's do it.
even though it's hard, what will you do if these questions were like, if you are faced it in an exam?
Yeah.
So that's the reason.
Your dad did not say that I've talked to NTA people, they are going to give you exactly paper like this.
No, him and my sister, both of them were like, if you decide, if you're sure it's gonna be easy, and if it's easy, it'll work out for you. But if it's hard, that's another thing you'll have to think about in the exam, along with solving the questions. So, just don't think about how the exam is gonna be. that's not your problem. That's what, like, in Telugu we say నీకెందుకు. Like, why do you care?
Neekenduku, what does that mean?
It means, like, why do you care? How
Why do you-
like, like if it's easy or hard, just prepare it for
Just
anything. Yeah.
So you said Neekenduku.
Yes, sir. I mean, like, if someone asks, like, something about, like, that they do not need information about, you can say that next time.
Neekenduku. Okay. All right. So understood. So your dad bought pretty much all the books that are
Yes,
available
sir.
on .com, and he also got you access of target batch. So overall, what is your feedback on the kind of questions, kind of tests which are available on NEETprep.com and in the books?
Like, the initially why I like them so much was I already do my PYQs here, and obviously I'll have, those tests I do, and my college stuff. The reason I liked it very much was there were no the questions weren't the same. I felt like here I was doing another question, a totally different one. I can, put my mind to this again.
Yeah.
That
So
was the
it
reason
was,
I liked it.
yeah. So it was not boring. It wasn't as if you were
Yes, sir.
repeating.
It was interesting. Yes, sir.
Interesting. Yeah.
And then it was also from NCRT. So that's the reason I did biology a lot. It's like instead of reading it again, if I do these questions and go back to the questions I didn't get, it'll be equal to reading it again. So that's how I felt.
And how was the experience with Dr. Sharma's masterclass in biology?
The book especially contains, all these questions, like, you start with the normal questions, and then suddenly there are, picture type questions, and then suddenly there's an assertion reason in between. So I really enjoyed it. So
You enjoyed
that's
it.
the reason I kept doing it. Like, instead of reading it and find, like, skipping over lines and feeling like I know this, I don't need to go through it again. If I did these questions, they didn't feel repetitive. So I did like most of them, and I checked my answers.
And you wrote a test every Monday.
Yes, sir.
And you did analysis after every test. It would never happen that you wrote a test, you did not do a post-mortem, and you would resume your journey.
The thing is, I would get some time after my tests, and like a little period of time where they let us look at our questions, and a little time. So I think that's the most productive I will be the entire week. So I get my books, I sit with my question paper, and immediately I go back to the questions. Not what I did wrong. I think these are the most dangerous questions. Like, I debate between two options, or like, I got confused, but luckily in that exam I scored it. Those kind of questions, you cannot write them up as your error because you did get the concept, but
Yeah.
you weren't sure. So, those kind of questions, I would take a specific color pen or a highlighter, and I would write it down so that, at least next time I'll spend less time with it.
Very
So,
interesting.
this is one thing I don't think people realize. It's not only the mistake. For me, it took me a lot of through first year to realize that I, like, obviously you'll remember, like, when you lose marks, you'll remember those questions anyway. But, it's the questions you get right by accident. You are debating between two options. I used to leave these questions in the first year, or like, in the beginning of my in of the college. So then I realized that I would, if a question like that comes again, I would lose it again. So I decided that no, I have to read all these questions again. So that's when I, started paying more attention to those questions.
So show us your, you were showing me your error notebook. How does it look like?
So I would write, since I would write every Monday, I would put, like, I would start with that exam name, and then I
Okay.
would write the questions directly. It's not
Yeah.
that neat, but wait, hold on. I'll just flip the camera. Now it's better. At least you can understand. So I,
Yeah.
like, after each question, like, exam, I would date it, and then I would write. And, I would,
So what are
like,
you
I would.
writing? Just a moment, just a moment. You are
Yes,
writing
sir.
question number. Where is the question paper? You would also staple it here?
No, sir. I had a file and I would arrange it by order. So I could just go back to that date. Like, I detail it. So I would just go back. And since, I wrote my, I would write where to go back to study. So,
Yeah. So, Sreenidhi, tell me this thing. This is wonderful. I mean, this is something which
yes,
we
sir.
recommend to every student. Uh, would you say as a minor modification so that people don't end up losing out on the test paper about which they have written, they should also staple the thing on the same notebook?
I think that if you are better organized, it's easier. For you, if the question paper is right next to you, you'll obviously feel like, I look at it once more.
Yeah.
I'll go back to it easily.
So guys, this is what I would recommend. I love talking to Sreenidhi. I've been talking to her for now more than an hour. Uh, the way she has described everything, she was very consistent. Her college would start at 7:30. They would prepare her till 7 p.m. She would study diligently there. After every class, there would be a time for what they call study hours, 50 minutes of classes, 90 minutes of study hours. Fantastic. After coming home, she won't have a lot of energy left. What time you'll sleep at night and what time you'll get up in the morning?
It changes, but I got like 7 hours every day. And from if I stayed night like till 12, I would wake up at 7 and get ready and go. But if I felt like, that day I cannot study anymore, I would sleep at 11 or 10:30. I would wake a little early and try to finish the day works next day.
Yeah. So
But
Sreenidhi,
7 hours every day.
7 hours every day. And every day means every day. There were never 8 hours, it was never 5 hours. Every day means every
No,
day.
sir. Yes, sir. You have to get personally, I think you hear people saying that they were up till 2 or up till 3 in the night. I don't think the next day you will see them be active, sir. But I don't think your energy levels are same as a person who
Yeah.
had their specific 7 hours of or 8 hours of sleep. If you need 8 hours, you need 8 hours. You need 7 hours, you need 7 hours.
And I think it is very important for people to understand that it is not about uh, final 7 days of preparation where you can push yourself. You have to do it for 700 days. You can't do 700 days with 2 hours of sleep every day or 3 hours of sleep every day. In fact, I've been interacting with a lot of 2027 kids. I was in Nagpur 2 days back. I just told them
Yes,
one
sir.
thing. Let's first fix up the sleeping time and getting up time. uh, once your body clock, your energy levels are set like that, in between you have to then find how much time you can find for studies. But if that is not fixed, your body would never get used to studying.
Sir, the thing is, it's so helpful to you. I don't think people realize. Once you fix, these hours of sleep and you start waking up without, you're asking your parents to wake you
Or
up.
without an alarm clock also.
Yes, sir. You'll start getting up before your alarm rings, and you realize that you don't feel drowsy. You don't feel like you need 10 more minutes. You're ready and you have a plan for next day. So it's really helpful. I don't think people realize that.
Oh, beautiful. So, Srinidhi, one final question I have is, you prepared consistently for 2 years. What do you think are three most important things to consistently prepare, not give up, not lose steam, just keep doing it every day? What do you think is the trick to do that?
So, like each person has different things that
Sure.
make them want this seat or like this rank. They have a goal, but most of us, when we fall short on those short term goals, in this test in my classroom I did not do well, or my classmate or my friend did better than me. So that's where the motivation falls short, or someone is comparing you. So instead of thinking like that, I used we always I was asked to do this by my parents, and I always realized this later on also. I would not think of it as like, whole exam paper. I would only see the question I lost, or like, that one specific topic I did not get. So if I could correct that, I could correct anything. So it's always important that it's not about why you like, that exam you scored less in. It's about that one question you lost, or like, the question you did wrong. It's not about, those 5 marks, or like, some, you feel like, it's like, it's a silly mistake. That's what, that's an other important thing. Like, we give ourselves that excuse. Like, I did not read the question properly. That I like, I felt like, why am I losing a question? Because, he put not incorrect and I missed that. So, like, how am I losing this question? So I felt like if I could next time just like focus on every question which had, double negatives, or like in the fourth option, A gives A, B, C, and D, like, and C, and I put A and I bubbled it. So instead of like, I thought next exam, I should not give this excuse for losing a question. So that's next time you'll not tell yourself that I know this. Now, like, this was a silly mistake. You cannot tell yourself that because you already decided last week. This wasn't supposed to happen. So now it's your fault only. So like that, you have to put short term, like, you have to break it down, because if you look at it like, 2 years of study, like you'll never find something to focus in on, like,
So that's a good one. I think what she's saying is it is not a 2 year preparation. It is
Yes,
made up
sir.
of
Yes.
it is made up of 20 or 52 year preparations. Think about it in terms of what you're going to do this week or what you're going to do in next 2 weeks, and just focus on that. Don't look too far. Don't start worrying about the fact there is so much competition and all of that. Nikenduku. What does it
Yes, sir.
matter?
Exactly. Correct. You got it.
Exactly, I got it right. So I told you, yeah, in Kannada there is a word called salpa salpa, little bit. Huh?
Yes, sir.
So
Yes, sir.
yeah, so a little bit of it, you should not worry about this much. Salpa salpa, a little bit of it,
Yes,
you
sir.
could do well. So students, you have Sreenidhi in front of you. She's from Visakhapatnam. Fantastic performance. 630 is her score. Rank is 238, and we are so proud. She did bunch of questions from our platform. She wrote tests from our high yield test series book, and she has done really well. What is the college you're targeting, Sreenidhi?
Sir, Jipmer, sir, hopefully.
Jipper is a great college. I was in Puducherry.
Yes, sir.
Uh, you know that I was there for 4 5 months back, and
Yes,
we have two kids there. One is from Kolkata. His name is Arpande. One guy is from somewhere in Karnataka. His name is Chinwa. So they are going to be our seniors. And yeah, best of luck,
yes,
Sreenidhi. This
sir.
is a fantastic performance. You have done all of us proud.
Thank you, sir. You were really helpful. Thank you, sir.
Very good. Thank you, Sreenidhi.